Today we're doing a BMW E46 rear power window regulator. So let's get started. First off, we need to get some trim removed. We need to get the hardware exposed to get this door card off. And that way we can get to the window regulator. So this just pulls off. I like to grab from this outside corner. It clips into the door handle on the inside corner here. So just get a purchase here and pull these rods out from these little clips. Once you have that out, you just want to feel around. There's going to be two push pins here that block out two torque screws right here in the arm bolster. T20, and start removing our hardware. Another screw there, two down here through this arm bolster. So we got our four screws out, one here, and two down here. There's a fifth one that's directly behind this window switch. So what you want to do is just take a pry tool, pop up down on the bottom side and the top side. There's kind of two clips that hold it in on top and bottom. Then you can see you have this nice long channel here with another T20 screw. Fit your T20 down in there. Rip that one loose. Now you have all 5 screws loose on the door panel. We have our 5 screws out. We can take another plastic pry tool, pop it in here between the door card and the door itself. And you just want to get some leverage outwards towards you. And we're trying to just get these pins to pop. There's a series of pins that hold this door card on all around the outside edge here. So once you get a purchase point, slip your fingers down underneath, pop out towards you, and you should have a nice loose door card. Next, we can take this button for the door lock, pop that down, take this, just pop it outwards towards you. That's going to release the door card from these clips up here on the top. Now we have a loose door card that's still connected. What we need to do now is reach down behind here, and we need to pop our door cable out. Lift up from this back end and just lift that back corner out, and this clip right here will unclip from the door handle assembly. Now with that, we just have one more wire, and that's right back here for our little tweeter speaker. So, in summary on this door card, we have that latch that mounts here. We have our speaker wire right here, and then we have one more wire that runs down here for the window switch. All of our pins are still in place and they're all still in good shape, so that's good news. So now we have our vapor barrier. What I like to do is get a nice sharp X-Acto blade, start at the top. This one's never come off before because it still feels, actually, you know what? I spoke too soon. This thing has probably been removed before because this bottom is not glued in at all. This is a pretty crucial part on these door panels because these doors can fill up with water, and if they do, that water can penetrate from the door inside the car, which is actually what happened over on the passenger side. What I'm going to do is just work my way around with this blade and just try to trim and cut the butyl tape or the dum-dum that is still holding it on. We don't need to fully remove the vapor barrier, but I like to get it up and out of the way enough to where I can reach this top bolt and it doesn't interfere with working down in here in the door. Okay, we have our door card exposed, we have our vapor barrier up and out of the way, we have our window motor, and then we have our 3 mounting locations for the regulator assembly. Either using the window switch or cutting the cables on the regulator like I did, the goal is to get this glass almost down all the way to where you can reach the hardware through this slot in the regulator. So it's an 8mm head screw. What we're going to do, reach in there with our gun, pull off that bolt. So now we've disconnected the glass from the regulator assembly. Take this glass, slide it up into the cassette up top, tape it safely away, and then we can get working down here on the regulator. Masking tape works great for securing this glass, just so you know it's not going to fall back down and hit you. Alright, now we got it disconnected from the regulator. Slide that glass all the way up and just throw a piece of masking tape over the top just like that, and that'll hold it just fine. Now that our glass is disconnected from the regulator, that means that we can unbolt the regulator and the motor. So we're just going to go to these 3 mounting locations, one here in the middle, one down the bottom, one up top. So now that this regulator is disconnected from the door, we should be able to just kind of pivot it, move it up into the top left corner so we can start to sneak one of these edges down, and boom, we have a regulator with motor assembly disconnected and removed from the vehicle. So here we have our top pulley mechanism that sits underneath this pin right here. And this thing just completely came apart. I'm sure we'll just find some more shards of it down here in the door card. It's a very common thing. If you own a BMW, you're probably well aware of regulator repairs. So we are back and we got parts. We have a rear window regulator from World Source 1, which is WorldPac's brand. It came with the motor for 75 bucks, which beats O'Reilly and AutoZone's pricing, which is pretty impressive. Better brand too. After comparing these two, it's pretty obvious that this lower pulley ended up failing. I found chips and pieces of it inside the door card, so that pulley probably just seized and ended up failing. I'd say the biggest culprit to these regulators is not exercising them over time. And so if this car sat and never had that rear window actuated, they just get stiff. This plastic gets brittle and breaks. It's just the Achilles heel of the BMW. But it's all good. We got a new motor regulator for 75 bucks. I also got a roll of butyl tape, or dum-dum, whatever you want to call it. So this is that adhesive for mounting the vapor barrier. So before we get this new one installed, I'm going to get the vapor barrier cut out of the door. That way we can re-glue it back in properly when we're done with the job. Let's work on getting this vapor barrier out of the way. There's really not too much in our way. The only thing is this little push pin for this wire connection right here. So I'm just going to get underneath there with the panel popper tool. Now that we have that push pin out of the way, this vapor barrier should be able to cut out completely and we'll be able to continue. So most of it is already loose already. This top seam still has a good amount of glue, so we're just going to pull until I get that butyl tape to start to stretch, or that dum-dum, whatever you want to call it. And I just gently push a razor blade into it, and the pressure, the tension of pulling, as well as just bumping it with that blade, it just cuts real clean. For the most part on getting this vapor barrier sealed back up, I'm mostly concerned about the bottom seams. If this thing develops any sort of water inside of it, you don't want it spilling out on this front side down the bottom of this butyl tape. So that's going to be our main focus when we're getting it sealed back on. We can work on getting this new regulator assembly and window motor back in. So just like we took it out, I just like to slide it up in here at an angle. Then drop it down. You're looking for those stud locations, those mounting locations. Right on. So I got the top stud in and the rest just pretty much fall together. We just need to get this bottom stud lined up. Boom. Boom. Right on. Everything's looking nice and flush. Just hand thread on these nuts real quick. Now we can start mounting this regulator to the door. Regulator is in and it is tight. This aftermarket regulator, its installation location is a little bit too low. I'm not able to access it through the factory slot here in the regulator rail to get access to that 10mm screw. I have to untape this glass, but before we do that, I want to plug the motor in and I want to bump the regulator up. That way I can get that flange to line up with this slot in the rail. So that's what we're going to do next. And again, what you're looking for is this U-shaped flange right here to be in this opening of this cutout on the regulator rail. Because once you drop the window down, you're going to fit your 10mm or your 8mm screw in through that flange and it's going to mount it to the window. So we want to make sure we have good access. So now that that slot is lined up properly, we can untape our glass. Now it is not supported. We can take this glass and slide it down. And again, we're trying to mate the window and that window clip to the regulator flange. So I untaped the glass and slid it to where it's a couple inches above the seam. And if we look down here through that slot, you can see there's that red clip that installs onto the window. I slid that down until that bottom tooth lines up with that slot, and I can see that nut that's inserted into that red clip on the glass. So now we can run our screw through that flange on the regulator into that nut and into the clip on the glass, and we will be mounting the regulator to the glass. Now for this piece, I'm going to use a magnetic socket and a ratcheting driver so I don't over torque it. However, all you need to do is just grab that 8-head screw, slip it in, pass it through that flange, and get it started on that nut. Torque it down, and just make sure that that clip on the glass is fit snugly into that flange on the regulator. All right, everything's looking good. Before I get this vapor barrier back on, I'm going to go hit the window switch in the front and just run this up a couple times, make sure everything's actuating well and there's no unusual noises. Sounds really good. So we know the new regulator is working well. Next thing I want to do is just get in here and scrape all this old dum-dum off. Just want to create a new sealing surface for our vapor barrier. I'm going to use fresh glue, and I just don't want any of this old glue to get in the way of my new stuff. What I'm looking to do is just get this old, tired, dirty, leathery looking stuff off. So I got my roll of butyl tape here, dum-dum, whatever you want to call it. This is a pretty thick piece, and so I may stretch it out to make it last a little longer. However, all you need to do is just trace the body lines of the old butyl tape, the old dum-dum. You can stretch it, make it a little skinnier if you like. This width should be okay as long as I have enough for the other side when I'm done. That's looking good. We got a nice new layer of glue on there. I am not going to remove the old butyl tape from this door panel just because if you pull on it too hard, you're just going to end up ripping it. So I'm just going to run it as is and see how it seals up. I don't think there should be any issues though. And then just be cognizant of where your things were routed. This loom right here runs through this slot, and then the door cable runs through this slot right here. And then just look for the old butyl tape lines. Match them up. Be cognizant of any holes in the vapor barrier for any hardware that mounts the door. Then once you get that door in place, just find where that dum-dum is, that butyl tape, and just give it a nice firm push to just get that glue to properly seal on. Sometimes I'll even add a little bit of heat and rub my hand on it. Next step is going to be getting our door panel back on. Again, just make sure that all of your body clips for mounting this door panel around the sides are all there intact. If any of them are broken or there's a large amount of them broken, I would recommend replacing them. Get our speaker wire plugged back in. We can also route our cable for the window switch, which I'm going to have to order a new one. That one was just too far busted up and it broke on me, so ignore the fact that the window switch will be missing. We can clip our door cable back in with the door handle shut. It needs to be in the closed position. Okay, now we can slide our door card back down over the door lock button. What I like to do is just find where the door naturally likes to sit, where the door card, right? You'll kind of find a natural seam to where this top of the door matches up with these body lines on the window. And we want to do those top clips first. So once you think you have it in a good spot, get those clips back on so we know we got a good fit on there. You just want to wiggle this door up and down a little bit until you can start to get these push pins seated back in those holes. I feel like I got a good seat, so we're going to push, pop. All right, that feels good all the way around. All right, so we got 5 screws total. We got one up here in the top right, one down here, one up here, and 2 down here in the armrest. After that, we can put our covers back on for the armrest screws. Trim is going to lock into this door handle side first. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Pop our window switch back in that is currently broken, so ignore this little hole. And we are good to go, folks. The window's operational, door handle's operational. You can test the speaker if you want. The glass is working good, our door lock's working, so we're good to go. That's going to wrap it up for today on the rear BMW E46 window regulator. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing a repair on the other side as far as rectifying our water leak, and I got lots of good ideas coming up in the future for content. So check out the channel if you enjoyed, and I'll see you on my next day off.